Welcome to Mom Boss Chronicles, the show that celebrates the incredible journey of mom bosses who are conquering the world of business and motherhood. We are your hosts, Jen,
Danielle,
and Sue.
Make sure to like and subscribe and share with your mom friends today. Welcome back, everyone, to Mom Boss Chronicles. Today, we're going to be talking about our favorite topic, real estate.
Real estate.
I'm here with my co-host, Sue, and my sister is back.
Hi.
She's a real estate agent also, so she has some good knowledge on this.
Yes.
Thanks for coming back.
Of course.
So I've been in real estate for over 15 years. Sue and Alyssa have been in it for the past several years as well. Sue and Alyssa have been having amazing years.
Yeah. Hey, girl. Hi.
Like,
good year for us. Yeah.
It was like the best year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For
Yep.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Over 10 million sold each.
I think Sue actually just hit 11 million.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Her last closing. Yeah. So
Over
she just
20
beat me.
million sold in real estate just between the
Just
two.
between the two of us.
Here at this
Yeah.
table.
You know. And we opened a brokerage that
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like can't stop, won't stop this
Yeah.
year, you
This is
know?
a great year for me
Wild.
too. Yes, my husband and I opened up a brokerage. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those kind of weird years where people are like, is it bad in real estate? Is it good? It's what you make of it.
100%.
It's
So-
definitely what we made of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly it. You know, I think for me, the year started out slow. And so, you know, talking about our previous mindset, right? So like I had to like stay, like keep my brain correct. Like, no, it's okay. We're just we're in a weird spot right now. You know, last year wasn't so great either, but like I didn't let it get me down, right? So I'm like, no, this year's going to be better. We're changing our mindset. I think people are adjusting more to like the landscape that we're in real estate wise. So it was really important to me. And you set the tone for the beginning of the year. I was like, oh man, Alex, let's go.
So
Yep.
funny because I had the opposite. So this year started off with a bang, which was great because I worked really hard last fall, but I was nervous because I could have just been like, well, I just made a lot of money. I'm taking off for the next like 6 months. And I was like nervous that it wasn't going to grow even further. And no, I just kept being like, all right, I'm going to stick at it. We're going to keep getting more. Like it wasn't just a fluke. I'm going to keep, grinding. And I was able to keep going and, having Sue I saw you this summer explode and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to explode too. Like
I love as like a healthy competition, right? Like, yes.
Like when you're surrounded with people who are doing it,
Yep.
you're like, okay, I can do it
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
That's
Even
what it
for
was.
sure.
Not to say that you guys didn't have challenges, right? You've had deals fall apart.
I've had at least two, maybe three, two deals fall apart. I was fired by a client. Like
there were challenges.
there were challenges.
Oh my gosh. Or like I showed a couple of clients like a ton of houses and like all of a sudden it was like, we're just not going to do anything right now. I had one that I was supposed to list, decided to go with a different, person. So that one hurt. But, you take a breath. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be sad about it for a day. And then tomorrow's a new day. And we're going to find another client and we're going to list a different house and we're going to use other buyers, and it really was such an incredible year because, I feel like I'm hitting my stride more in the real estate world, like understanding real estate, houses, the market, being creative to help our clients, achieve their goals and stuff like that. Right. So that part was really fun. And then I also feel like this year for like the clients, I did end up getting to the finish line. Like I made so many new friends this year, because clients, you spend all this time with them, right? And I've been really blessed this year to work with like such incredible clients, but also peers in the industry. Like that's so important too when you have like really awesome peers on the other side of deals. So
you can like make or break a deal.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, dude, we all have a common goal at the end of the day is to like help our clients get to closing and, be happy. And so like, I feel like this has been such a great year for that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
This year, we saw some changes, like in real estate, federally, and we work in New Jersey, so even with our state level.
Yep.
So those who don't know, if you are looking to buy a house, it's now required throughout the country a buyer agency agreement. What that is, it's a signed acknowledgement that if you are buying a home, that the person who is showing you the home and writing the offer up for you is working with you as a buyer's agent. It also outlines that they get paid. It outlines that they are earning a commission. And I know a lot of agents who've been in it for a long time have resisted it or were nervous about it or just, some sort of maybe negative connotation.
Yeah, I think change is hard for most people. And then it's like, also we do a lot of paperwork. So it's adding another layer of paperwork into our lives.
And even for buyers, where they were like, why do I have to sign?
Right. And it's a new tough conversation to have, right?
And
so
I think the news didn't help. Like it was just an article from probably January, February, maybe March. Every week was like a new article about this change. It was happening in July, and it created this hype.
Yeah.
So if you didn't quiet the noise, you were like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Maybe I don't fully understand. You remember, it all clicked for me actually when we had a meeting and Jen did some research and she just regurgitated the changes to us in 2 minutes. And in plain English. And when she did it, I was like, wait, that's it? Why are we so nervous?
Right.
Why are we so complicated?
The media.
And I think as an agency, we decided, okay, well, we're not going to freak out.
No.
Like, this is like nothing. And I think you had reminded us too, like changes happened in the 90s, changes happened in the early 2000s, and this is just another year of change.
Exactly.
And we're all just going to work through it.
Right.
That didn't mean real estate agents went out of business.
No.
So it was just a mindset I think you, Jen, and Gary lead, okay, we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah.
And as the changes occur, we'll roll with it again. You're just going to be malleable about it. And other people were just kind of like, oh my gosh. Like,
well, so resistant, right? Yeah. And like you said, the media, like, I feel like the media depicted the whole situation as like real estate agents are just like commission hungry.
Yes.
They only care about the money kind of situation. It's like, no, well, first we get paid. We do have to get paid at some point.
We don't get paid.
But like a lot of times we spin our wheels and then may not ever see money. And that's okay. Like that's what we signed up for this. And that is totally okay. But we're not like money hungry.
No.
Yeah. That's not what it's about. But I do appreciate, honestly, when you did explain it all in layman's terms for us to really understand it better, it made me happy, honestly, because it really defines the relationship between a real estate agent and the buyer
early on.
And it also defines that the buyers are serious, right? And they're really looking to come out and purchase a home, and they're not kind of like going to waste your time,
They understand. And if they're engaging with you, that means that your intent is to work with you.
It's not willy-nilly. I'm taking this serious. I'm here to help you buy a home. So please also, like, you're showing me you're taking me serious too.
Yes. I mean, the way you would sign a listing agreement, we got very used to that, right?
Yep.
When you sell your home, you meet with an agent, you sign an agreement for X amount of time, you agree on the commission. It's very much outlined.
Price,
Buyers didn't have to do that. Now, it's just, we understand we're working together in a relationship, a business relationship, and I'm here to provide these services.
Right. Yep.
And I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the buyer to understand that. And it's good for the agents to express that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
for
a
sure.
great thing.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yes.
Yes, it really is. And I think it's just how you looked at it, truly.
Yeah. Another thing that's required in New Jersey, which is also a good thing, is seller's disclosures. In New Jersey, it wasn't required that you provide a seller's disclosure. It was just optional.
So a seller's disclosure, for anyone who might not know, is kind of, it's a questionnaire, essentially, that a seller will fill out, and it's telling about the profile of the home, the roof, the age, HVAC, plumbing, electric, to the best of your knowledge, right? Solar, to the best of your knowledge. So honestly, like, yes, you should do that. It's kind of your responsibility.
I know.
Yeah. Not share.
Yeah, exactly. And now the buyers are required to receive that before putting the offer, which is a good thing, because then they could see if the seller did right. Well, the roof is older, the AC is older. Well, they understand that, their offer may be contingent on these items or things that are disclosed.
Transparency.
Yes.
And I think what we've done is we've trained some of the agents in our office to pull those up. Now that almost every single property has one, it's required to have one.
They should.
You should have one. Doesn't mean they all do, but they should.
As I tour the home, I love to look at it.
And so now I've trained we've had new agents join the brokerage, and they've pulled it out. And it actually is a good tool for knowledge. It's inspired everyone to like come from a confidence standpoint. Like, oh, I know this about the roof, this about the house.
Or the owner always owned it for X years.
And they're walking around with it. And it's been a better transition. It's helped me a lot with gaining rapport with people that just didn't know me yet.
Right.
And it's a good tool for everyone else to kind of share. So I liked that went into place, because now there is more of it. It's not always 100%, but there is more.
Yeah, there's like, excuse me, you didn't
fill it out. Yeah.
And honestly, in some cases, sometimes it's written unknown, and it's defense of the seller that maybe they inherited the home or they didn't own it that long. And it is okay if they don't know how old the roof is.
Right.
It's okay to write unknown.
And that's all right.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out anyway when you do your home inspection.
Yeah.
I would say, so so among the great parts of this year, I worked with a lot of first-time home buyers this year, which I'm just saying to anyone out there, yes, are the rates still a bit on the higher side than what we were used to? Absolutely. Yes, they are. But I will say that I had a number of first-time home buyers who did not let that deter them from, purchasing their first home. And most of them are like, okay, this is our first home. We're going to get started. They're understanding that what they're doing in this moment is building equity in their house. Instead of paying a rent to somebody else, they're paying their mortgage. And, they'll be ready to, in a couple of years, to buy their next forever home or something like that. But that was such a true honor.
That's awesome.
To be able to work with these clients and be a part of their first
so grateful.
Home it was awesome.
You're first.
Yeah, for sure. It was so awesome to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And investors too. I worked with a number of investors this year.
Which is a beautiful
who
thing
kept investing.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are like, are people still buying? Are people still investing?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this year, even though it was one of my better years in real estate, I personally am on the home journey. I've been at it for 13 months, actually.
Right, so as an agent.
As an agent. And there are times where you kind of get into client mode. And I've had to call my sister and brother-in-law and be like, be my real estate agent and remind me this again. And it's funny.
Or how should I structure
how should I structure this? What do I do?
Your personal deal. You let personal.
You kind of get a little personal.
Yeah, of course.
And that's just life, right?
Yeah.
So I've been down the road of short sales. I have been down the road of people moving that decided not to move anymore.
Offers accepted and then
pulled away. The negotiating. And so it's so funny. So people say about my personal experience, I'm like, I can tell you my personal experience. I've been at it for, this amount of time. The rates have changed. So my payment projection has changed, but it doesn't mean you can't find something.
Right.
And, the fall, I always feel like is a great time to find something. Mm-hmm. It's less inventory for sure, but there are deals out there because there's just honestly less people looking. You have people who are in school or just getting ready for holidays who just don't have the time to buy. They're not making a move. But if you are and you have the ability and you find something that you love, it's been my speech since August. This is a great time to do it. And so currently I found something I've loved. And I'm under contract and we're hoping to close in the new year.
Awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
And thank you, in the right direction. But you have to stay at it and you have to have an agent who's going to help you stay at it and work out all those scenarios for you. So is it harder? Maybe, but it's not impossible to buy. No. And also it's not impossible to be an agent in the market either.
Right. Yeah. No, not at all.
Mm-hmm. People say, when's the best time to buy? When you're ready.
When you're ready.
Now. If now is the time that you are ready, then you buy now. Don't wait till people say the spring and summer are the best time. There's more competition then. So it might be harder for you.
Right.
You buy when you are ready.
So you buy when it makes sense.
For you.
I also tell people the more that you look, even though they're like, oh, I hate bothering you. But I'm like, the more that you look, it actually is easier because then when you find the one you love, you're so willing to pull the trigger and you're so willing to all right, I got this now because now I've seen what I don't want.
Right.
So I tell people, it's not bothering me.
No,
Let's keep looking. This is what I'm for.
Right.
Because I want you to be so sure because there will be things that will come up in the home inspection or in title or something but your gut has to be so sure you want to do it that you're willing to overcome some of those obstacles. And I'm going to hold your hand the whole way. I tell people, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, but you just have to love it.
Yeah.
And you could still do that in this market. It's not impossible.
No, not at all. Not at all. And even to our sellers out there too. I mean, I've a couple of listings this year. People have cashed out incredible amounts of equity in their home, and use that to put down on their next home. One. Especially if you purchased before 2020, chances are you probably are sitting on a lot of equity. So even if you don't want to sell your house, right, you can find ways to leverage the equity that you have in your home, and you can use that to either buy an investment property of your own to kind of expand your real estate portfolio or your portfolio, to start with, right? So we're investors as well. So, for anyone listening out there, if you've been even kind of remotely thinking about it, I know this is a more popular topic. I've had actually a lot of people reach out to me through social media, friends hey, how did you do this? How did you start? We're here to help, because we live it as well. So, if you're kind of thinking about it, don't be afraid.
Yeah. And don't let the news intimidate you. Like, even if the rates are high, it's still a good time for investment. Like, I'm always looking for my next investment.
You're going to wait and then you're going to miss out on equity. You're going to miss out on something.
Right.
And then
like someone's buying it. Like the investors are out there. They're still buying stuff. So get in the game.
And that saying goes, and I think I've said it several times on the podcast, but I'll say it again. Be greedy when others are fearful. And be fearful when others are greedy. So now when people are a little bit more hesitant, this is where you should be greedy and you should go get that property.
Yeah.
This is the right time.
Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
How are we seeing with prices? What do you think prices are, would you say?
I think that stuff came down a little bit, just merely because it's the fall season. I truly believe that the election deterred a lot of people in this fall, which really made prices drop even further. The rates are still kind of hovering in those 6s range, so they didn't drop as much as I think all of us had hoped to. The bond market just hasn't really moved in that direction to help that happen. But I think once we start hitting late January, February, March, and we start getting back into that spring market, boom, back up.
It's like they dropped slightly, but not to like a bottom out. Like
that's never happened.
I think what happened,
and they went back up a little.
Like some of my experience with some of the buyers was like, well, I'm going to get a super deal. And I'm like, okay, you're going to get a deal, but I don't think you're going to get $100,000 under this price deal.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of like working through that for them to kind of get there. So there was a little bit of people who were still in the game that kind of thought, oh, I'm going to go even further and try to test it out. I'm like, no, it's like not going to be fully that.
Multiple offers on certain properties.
We are still seeing multiple offers on certain properties.
Like there's a couple of offers you just put in when there's multiple.
Where it might be like 3 to 5, but you're competing with still 3.
Not all of them, but it's still
it's not all, but it's something in the value. I'm going to say value market, but in this affordable area range. Because like right now, I just did the numbers. I think in Monmouth County, it's like $750,000 is the average home price. Yeah,
that is
and
crazy.
So if you're looking in the 400, to 500 range, we're here. We'll help you.
Yep.
But that's a competitive market right now. So
especially when the average price point's much higher.
Average price point. So we you just have to find your leverage and you kind of have to find like where you want to go, and we'll come up with a game plan. It's just not impossible. It just might be a little bit more thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
So almost like the buyer consultation came back a little bit more.
Yep.
Where it's funny, I had a buyer who's like, "Can we sit down and talk?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yes.
Whereas maybe in 2021 we were like, "We got to go to like houses now."
We're
we got to write up your offer and move.
Prices are increasing quickly.
Let's go. But now it's like, okay, let's slow it down a little bit. We have the little bit of time to kind of, especially when you have to do the buyer agency agreement.
Right.
Yeah,
which is so much nicer.
Yeah, and I would say definitely if you're looking to buy, have that buyer agency consultation with your agent. Like ask them for it. And basically what happens in that consult, you'll go over questions you have about the buying process.
Yeah.
Like what's my down payment? What's the next step after the offer gets accepted? What is a home inspection?
Especially if you're a first time home buyer, or even if you haven't purchased a home in a while.
Like, how is this going to work? How are we going to line it up?
Right.
And for people who are selling and buying, I have worked with a few people this year who are selling and buying because it worked out for their situation in life. So don't be afraid too. If you do have that 3% rate and you're afraid to change it up, talk to us, because maybe the equity you're going to get and what you want to buy and the location is going to work out. But have that conversation, because you never know.
Yep.
And sometimes your peace of mind is worth that change, but it's up to you. Everybody's personal and it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to 2025. I think that we're just going to see continued success. Looking forward to helping our clients more.
Brokerage growing.
Yeah. We're excited. This has been a great year for us, and we're excited to keep bringing that momentum forward into the new year.
I think it's just always going to be business as usual if that's how you treat it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think going in 2025, we kind of all know that. Like, that's our angle right
and
now.
the best rise to the top.
Yeah. And so we're going to keep grinding at it.
Yeah.
Right.
You will rise up.
Ain't nothing scare us.
No. And it's going to take a lot for us to like get fearful about the market.
Yeah.
For if you read the news a lot, you're going to get fearful. But
because that's their point. They want
They want that clickbait.
Yep.
Yeah. And that fear sells.
Right.
Yeah. So, but if you stay in touch with maybe your local realtor who can give you a better picture of what the areas you're looking at, you're going to get more factual stuff that pertains to you. Because some stuff that's happening in the different parts of like California,
even Florida.
I
love Florida.
Mid-America.
Yeah.
I follow Florida's market, and they are saying there is an oversaturation of listings there.
Right.
And I think a lot of it, unfortunately for Florida, is due to the rise of insurance.
Yeah.
The hurricane.
Yeah. it's hard because those things do affect, but maybe it's a great time to buy if you're thinking of buying in Florida. But there are some markets where there's an oversaturation of listings, and then there's other markets where we're still at a low inventory.
Yeah.
So it's a case-by-case basis.
It really is.
And even neighborhood by neighborhood. We live in Monmouth County, New Jersey. There is a demand for Monmouth County because there's such a growth here with jobs and economics, and we're by New York City. It just depends. Other parts of New Jersey might not be experiencing that. So,
right.
Yeah, you do have to talk to your local expert
to get like what your picture is.
And we're here.
Yeah,
questions.
exactly.
Reach out to us. We're happy to help.
For sure.
Well, thank you, ladies, for that real estate market update.
Thank you.
Any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Make sure to like and subscribe, and hope you're having a great day.